All right, guys, there's no secret that in this day, in this market, it's harder and harder to purchase a home. No doom and gloom, that's just the facts here. With that being said, there are tools that you can use to help purchasing a home or help make it even easier. And the biggest tool that I see is seller concessions. I would say 90% of my deals that I'm closing this year have seller concessions attached to them. And that is where the seller essentially is offering to give you money to help pay for things like closing costs or buying down the interest rate or home warranties, etc. So let's go over the seller concessions and see what you can get. I'm going to only talk about the top three for now, but the chart shows a couple more options. And that top three will be conventional, FHA, and VA. So let's start at the top at conventional loans. Conventional loans, for the most part, they offer right off the bat 3% seller concessions. So what that means is that if you are purchasing a home for, let's say, $300,000, the seller can offer you up to 3% of the purchase price, which would be $9,000, which could go towards paying closing costs, which could go towards buying down the rate, home warranty. Now, obviously, if you put more down, this chart is showing if you put 10 to 25% down on a conventional loan, then the seller is able to offer you even more in concessions, up to 6%. So that's a huge deal, especially if you want to take that money and purchase and buy down your interest rate. And then obviously you put down 25%, the chart is showing that you can ask for up to 9% seller concession. That's going to be a hard ask, but it's there if it's available. Now we're going to scroll down to FHA. Right off the bat, seller concessions offers you 6% that you can ask for. Now, I have had this happen a couple of times, actually probably a handful of times, and this is phenomenal because if you ask for 6% seller concessions, 3% will actually pay for your closing costs, and 3% will actually help buy down the interest rate tremendously. So if you can get 6% seller concessions, go for it every day, all day, except 5%, except 4%. I mean, you're anything above 3%, you're really ahead of the game. Even getting 3% seller concession means you're ahead of the game, but above and beyond that, you did great. And then we go to VA seller concessions. Now this is the best option, and it's also confusing to most, and including to me when I first started to learn it. What this is basically saying, just to sum it up, is the buyer is allowed to pay all closing costs, period. All closing costs, meaning origination fees, discount points, up to 2 points. There's a limit there, up to 2-point discount points. They're allowed to pay title fees, HOA fees, appraisal fees, whatever's in there, escrow fees, etc. They can pay all that. On top of that, they can also offer up to 4% seller concessions, right? Up to 4% seller concessions, meaning with that 4%, you can use it for almost anything as far as paying off debt. So if you have a car loan, they can help pay off that. They have school debt, pay off that. You have credit cards, they can pay off that. So there's two buckets here for VA. There's the closing costs that they can pay unlimited amount, whatever the closing cost is, up to 2% discount points, which is the only regulation there. And they can offer an additional 4% towards your rate, or towards your debts. Phenomenal. Now, it's going to be hard to get some people to offer that much, but just know that it's there. So obviously there's more to go with seller concessions, but keep that chart, save that chart for your own personal records. If you have any questions, give me a call, Ruben Chavez, 2 Strong Mortgage.